Thank you for joining me today. Before I get started, I just want to give a big shout out to the first 4 commenters from my last video. Thank you so much to Just Nailed It, Kiara Creations, iCordy, and The Polished Phoenix. I would also like to give a big shout out to my members. Big shout out to Unbound Nails by Tiffany, Jen Mullet, Susie Snail Cues, Life with Christine, Sandra Sparkly Sets, Just Nailed It, My Mommy Dawn Boule, Jessica's Nail Studio, Nails by Vidi Lugo, and Nana Ange Nails It. And a gigantic shout out to each and every single one of you that take the time out of your day to watch, like, subscribe, comment, and interact with my channel. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you, and I hope that you enjoy today's video as well. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie. This is the Katie Cat Nails channel, and today I just wanted to do an updated application video for how I apply my full cover nail tips. I'm getting back into doing my nails regularly, and I wanted to show you guys what the process is for me to apply my tips. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm taking a cuticle pusher, and I'm very gently pushing any of the extra skin that I have overgrown back. I don't usually get too much, but I do just like to make room so that I can get to the dead stuff that is under that. That is the actual cuticle that has dried on the nail plate. And I got these drill bits with this drill from MelodySusie, and I'm super glad that they reached out to me, because I had their Sparkle Pro forever. And I mean, I still have it. It's still perfectly good, but I mean, this one's purple. You know what I mean? So I want to use the purple one because I get enjoyment out of using the purple one more than I do the black one. And so I'm just taking this and I'm going around all the edges of the cuticles, and I'm doing each of them the same way. I'm just kind of rubbing it against the the edges, like I said, and then just getting the dead stuff off of the plate. Now I am working with my left hand today, so I am going in with this. It's like a pumice stone for like your cuticle area, but because I am so unsteady with my left hand, it's hard for me to really get into the creases and like corners of my nails like I would want to with the drill, because I just don't trust it. It's hard for me to gauge, the pressure a little bit more with my left hand, as well as like how far I'm moving. It's just weird working with my left hand. If you've tried to do your non-dominant hand, you probably know what I'm talking about. But because I'm not going to get as clean of a cuticle as I would if I were using my right hand, I do just go in with, this little pumice type thing, and I do just get into like the corners as best as I can. And then I am going to go in and I am going to take like this diamond buffer bit, and I'm going to do the crevices around like the sides of my nails, and then I am just going to buff my nail plate. I no longer use a file on my natural nails. I use a buffing diamond bit, and so far I've been really happy with the results, and I feel like I have had less rings of fire than I did when I was using sanding bands, and that includes the little mini sanding bands. I was still getting really bad rings with those, but since I moved to doing this type of nail prep where I'm not using anything coarse on my natural nail, I'm super happy with the way that they have been growing, and just the overall strength. I feel like they have been super strong. Well, not super strong, but for me, super strong. And then those are the primer and the dehydrator that I'm going to be using today. Typically I use whatever dehydrator I have on hand, and then I use the Young Nails Protein Bond, but I do not have any more Young Nails Protein Bond, and I do have other primers, so I'm trying to make a point of using them. I don't really want to buy a bunch of different types of products, especially when most primers are actually pretty good. It's the prep. I find that if I do have a crappy prep, like that's when I have my issues. But I do know that the Protein Bond is my absolute favorite, primer. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I got distracted. I zoned in on Aria's cartoon going on in the background. But yeah, so Protein Bond would be my first choice. I really do love it. but the ones that I'm using today are not bad at all. And I'm going to see if I have the link for the Savvyland gel glue that I'm about to use. It is an older product, which is why I've been using this one most recently. I do prefer to use the bottled nail gel glues instead of the solid ones. I do not care for the solid ones. I cannot seem to get the hang of it, and I feel like no matter what brand I use, I just run way too warm, and I use too much every single time, or not enough, and the air bubbles are like, yeah, no, not for me. So I do prefer to use the gel glue that comes in the bottle for applying my nail tips. I feel like I get a better result, and feel like I get a better adhesion. The ones that I just removed before this video were the ones that had the leopard print that I did my live on from Madam Glam, and that was a good like 3 weeks and change ago, I believe. So, and they only came off because I removed them. So yeah, I mean, it works for me. I guess, you know, everybody has their own way to prep, but for me, this is what works the best. So I'll put a little bit of glue on my nail plate, and I'll make sure that I get the glue all the way to the tips of my natural nails. And then I'm going to also apply primer to the inside of the nail tip. I do not like to buff the inside of the nail tip because then I feel like I don't get it as clean, like from the dust, and I feel like that causes some of my lifting sometimes with full cover nail tips as well. So I do use the primer on the inside of the nail tip. I let that get tacky, and then I apply a little bit of the liquid, well, the nail glue in the bottle, the nail gel glue in the bottle. And then I have been getting way less bubbles and just an overall better adhesion doing it this way. So, it was just something new that I decided to try, and it ended up working out really well for me. Now, I don't know if, that's necessarily due to the putting the primer on the inside of the nail tip, or the other steps that I take, or if I'm just getting used to applying full cover nail tips better. But yeah, I mean, it's working for me, so I'm just gonna keep on doing it. So I do get a lot of heat spikes still. So that's one thing that I do notice about gel, is that I do not enjoy the heat spikes. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clip my thumbnail down. I just need it to be a little lower, well, a lot lower, because I do mobile gaming and I cannot hit the buttons on my mobile game the way I need to if I have a long thumbnail. So the thumb, unfortunately, does need to be chopped down. So before I do anything else, I don't show it on camera, but I do full cure my nail tips for 60 seconds in the lamp. And then I'm just going in and I'm just cleaning up the shaping. I had thought that my middle nail was a little crooked, but it was actually somewhat that my middle nail was a little crooked and my ring finger was crooked. So sometimes if it's crooked and I'm wearing a long tip, or especially if I'm wearing a tip that I'm going to cut down, I can just reshape the nail so that it, it looks more straight, which I have to do anyway because I always like to reshape my tips. And then I'm just going to go in with I really do like using these, I think these are tornado bits, and I really do like using them around my cuticles. I am comfortable enough with my drill to do this. I am not touching my cuticle. I am not touching my natural nail. I am being very slow and very gentle and very precise, and I'm only placing, and I'm taking my time. I'm taking my time especially because I'm using my left hand. If you are not familiar with your drill, if you are not familiar with your tornado bits, and if you are not, unless you are 1000% sure that you can use it safely, please do not attempt this. I'm just showing you what I do. I'm not trying to tell you that this is the right way, because for most, I'm going to tell you it is not. It also depends how far back you put your nail tips. I do not like to leave too much of a gap between the nail tip and the cuticle when I'm applying my full cover nail tips. That is just me. So I am very rarely at risk of hitting my natural nail plate when I am using this bit. Okay, so always make sure that whatever you're doing, you are doing it in a way that is safe and efficient for you, that you're not putting yourself at risk of hurting yourself or anything like that. Always stick with what is comfortable and safe, okay? So then I'm going to go in with the 180 side of my 180 MelodySusie files, and I am just going to go around the cuticle one more time. And with this, what I'm going to do is kind of push up against the cuticle area a little bit and then give it a light buff. And I find that that really, not seals the cuticle, because that's not really what filing or buffing does, but it does give me a nice smooth cuticle. It gets rid of any of the lumps and bumps, any of the unevenness from the nail gel glue, anything like that. It does really help to just really refine that cuticle area. And then I am going to go in with a lint-free wipe, and this is what we are looking like. A really awesome application, and I'm gonna be ready for some nail art. But that is it. That is how I apply my full cover nail tips. I do have a 12% off discount code for MelodySusie. Pop that up on the screen. I hope that you enjoyed going over my process with me, and I hope that I did a good job explaining everything. It has been a while. A couple things may have changed since the last time I did a video like this. But yeah, I think the nails came out really nice. Again, it is just applying full cover nail tips, but you can definitely get a bad application. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and I hope that you'll join me for future videos.